Oh yeah, guess what? It's time. Welcome to Bariatrics and Tips. I am Michelle Geeson, your hostess with the mostest. Thank you for being here. It's a very rainy day here in West Michigan, and so I love to bake. So this works out really well when it's one of those cool fall days. Yeah, it feels like summer's gone. But anyways, I digress. Welcome. One of the things that we have in common is that we have all had weight loss surgery, or maybe we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery. But even if that doesn't fit the bill, if you're trying to combat a diabetes diagnosis, if you're striving for overall health and wellness, if you're turning a new lease in life, it doesn't matter the reason, you are in the right place. I have devoted my entire existence to living large, cooking and eating small, and finding flavor in everything that I do. And this recipe demonstration is no exception. I am making bariatricized zucchini muffins. They are moist, they are decadent, they feel ample. You are not gonna have to want for anything after you try this recipe. I have really had an epiphany over the last week or so, and it's an epiphany that happens quite often with regards to cooking and eating small. And I find that when I have lots of stuff, whether I'm filling up the refrigerator after I've gone grocery shopping, or I'm making a lot of servings of something, I always have that obligation to eat it. Number one, because I bought the stuff, and number two, because it's there. And so in trying to understand and respect that thought process in my own head, I figured that cooking and eating small needs to happen so that I don't have that obligation to eat on a grand scale. So one of the reasons why this is zucchini bread muffins and not just zucchini bread in a traditional loaf pan is because the muffins are built-in portion control. And I love that because that obligation to eat more and more and more is diminished when you're given just a single muffin rather than a loaf of bread. So that's my thought. Just wanted to share it with you. Please let us know if you have questions or comments during this live broadcast. My camera person, Maya, say hi, Maya.
Hi.
She will be manning the camera and will let me know if you're asking a question during this recipe demonstration. A lot of the ingredients that you see are easily accessible. They're not considered exotic ingredients like my husband says. They're very inexpensive. And I'll show you tricks and tips along the way that I think will help. So that's my oven preheating, which yay. I turned it on a little late. But anyways, let's get to basics. Bariatricized zucchini muffins. The major rule of thumb here, the one thing that I want to drive home, and Maya, you can definitely pan in on my grated zucchini here. Come on over. The zucchini needs to be pretty, not dried out like paper, but relieved of the excess moisture. And so what I like to do is use like a 2-ply paper towel. This is zucchini that I grated yesterday, and I did it with the help of my Cuisinart blade, so it was super easy. You want to keep the skins on. This is pretty devoid of any excess moisture, but a lot of times you'll see the paper towel will get soaking wet and you'll want to change it. It's almost like a diaper, so to speak. So very, very important that you can come back to me, Maya. Hello. Very important that you drain that extra moisture out of the zucchini or you're going to have some mushy zucchini muffins, okay? Maya, why don't you come around so that way everybody can get hands-on experience with me. So we are going to start off with, actually, and I did streamline this a little bit. Hi, Lori. Thanks for joining us today. Let's talk about the ingredients first because I actually streamlined it. I like to make a little kit. So this is my zucchini muffin kit. It is almond flour based, and then it has a lot of other extras that I'll go through. But basically, everything that I need is in, all the dry ingredients are already in here. And so I made one for a rainy day, but I also made one for what we're gonna use. So I've got a cup of almond flour. Let's pour this on in. 1 cup of almond flour. You can get this online at most grocery stores, and I always buy mine at Sam's Club. I think you get the most bang for your buck that way. Okay, so that starts the almond flour. The next thing we're gonna do, and you can come over here, Maya, thank you, is we're gonna do 2 tablespoons each of my 1, 2, 3, 4, Fab 4 mixture. Usually it's a Fab 5, sometimes it's a Fab 6. All 6 ingredients that I'm referring to are in this, just at different increments. Almond flour is the main ingredient. 2 tablespoons each of milled flaxseed, coconut and hazelnut flours, and hemp hearts. All of these are chock full of nutrition. They have different nutritional content, but they give you that nice overall well-rounded flavor in place of that traditional white flour. And then we're gonna do a tablespoon of chia seed. Chia seed is like an unsung hero because it helps bind things together. It absorbs moisture. You see it a lot. Chia seed pudding. I've got a recipe on our Facebook page, Bariatrics and Tips, for that. Chia seed is a great ingredient too, also chock full of nutrition. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of chia seed, a half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon each of ground cinnamon, baking soda, and baking powder. And that's what's in here. In addition, 6 tablespoons of low-calorie, unflavored protein powder. You can use whatever you want. We're talking tablespoons, not scoops. Most low-cal protein powder their scoops are a little bit smaller and they are tablespoons. Today I'm using organic pumpkin protein powder. It's 50 calories a tablespoon and has 9.5 grams of protein per tablespoon. So that's why I selected it. You can use Gen Pro, you can use Nectar is another brand that I use. My bariatric clinic here locally sells it. I'm just out of it right now, so I haven't been able to get any more. So that's that green part that you see in my dry mix concoction. So let's pour this in here right now. Everything that I just said is in this bad boy, okay? All right. So then what we're gonna do, instead of using sugar or artificial sugar, I'm opting for natural sugar and I'm using dates. You wanna use 6 dates that are pitted. They're very easy. If you don't know how to do it, you just split them in half and take the pit out. And you wanna make sure they're soaked in hot water so they get nice and soggy. So here are my dates. The hot water was pretty hot when I started it. So let me drain this. All right. And pour that in there. And then we're going to do 2 eggs, already beaten. I'm actually using duck eggs. A friend of mine has ducks and she gives me duck eggs and they're amazing. And actually, duck eggs are used a lot in baking. Just because they're a lot richer. The duck eggs typically are bigger, so they have bigger yolks, which makes for a richer concoction of whatever you're making. And I love using duck eggs in my baking, so that's what you see here today. And then we want to use a 1/4 cup of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. This is in place of butter. And someone on my TikTok video did ask me, what if I don't like yogurt? Well, if you don't like yogurt, you can either use it and forget that you don't like yogurt because honestly, you don't taste the yogurt at all, or you can opt for something else. Applesauce, avocado. Do a Google search for baking substitutes for butter and you'll come up with a lot of them. I love to use non-fat plain Greek yogurt because of that low-cal, high nutrition value. All right, so I'm gonna slop that right in and make sure I get every bit out of there. Okay, and then last but not least, we need to use the star of the show, the zucchini. So now all you wanna do is just kind of put that zucchini on in there. I may have selected too small of a bowl, but it's too late to go back now. Let's do it. All right, so now we're just gonna get in here with a mixer. I'm gonna start slow and make sure everything's incorporated, and then I'm gonna bring it up to speed. All right, Maya, are there any questions so far? No? Okay. you want to make sure that when you're really pulverizing those dates. And if you wanted to, you could, if I would have thought about this 20 minutes ago, I could have pulverized them in the Cuisinart before our broadcast and really gotten them into small pieces. That's fine, whatever works. It's kind of a sweetener, and if you just get in there and beat the living heck out of it, you'll be just fine. So you can see it's all coming together. It's gonna be like a dough, but it's gonna be a little bit on the wet side. It's not gonna be too dry. And I'm just trying to pulverize everything. All right, it's looking really good, you guys. This recipe is, I say this every time, but it's totally true. It is one of my favorites. I did have someone ask about a cookbook, and I am working on compiling my recipes into a cookbook, so more to come on that. Maya, can you kind of pan in and really show them? You can see that the dates have really broken apart quite nicely. I'm not seeing the big huge chunks that I saw at the beginning of this process. This will make 15 regular size muffins. If you want to make mini muffins, you can, but the nutrition facts that I'm going to share with you are based on 15 regular size muffins. This is a really nice snack, a really good way to get you from point A to point B because it's low calorie, it's got high protein, and it's very satisfying. They come out nice and moist too, which is a bonus. They freeze very well, although you're going to love them so much you're not going to want them. Hi Misty, hi Misty. Thank you, it's looking good. It's smelling really good too. Okay, so I'm going to be done with this. Let me put this down. Alrighty. Come on over here, Miss Thing. Nope, walk over here, Maya. It's not going to hurt you. Little thing. So I already have, take a look over here. I have my 12 muffin wrappers plus 3 more. I will just make them after we part for the day because I didn't want to get out another muffin tin. And I will get that out. I am using parchment paper muffin wrappers, and I do like to just give it a very light spray. Whoops, enough to make them fly. All right. And then I also use a scoop. This is just a regular, it's a Pampered Chef scoop because you know I'm a self-acclaimed Pampered Chef addict, and if Missy's watching still, she can attest to it. So I'm gonna spray the scoop, make sure I get it in there. And then if you can just come over here, Maya, and just focus on this, that would be great. All right, let's get these in. So I am putting even amounts in, and then we'll see what we come up with toward the end. Sometimes you may have to go back in and spray a little bit more. Come on, Maya, don't be shy. People, they need to see everything. We are visual people. We need to see what we're cooking. All right. Not my hands though. All right, so now I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you can see that I still have, come on, focus over here, Maya. I still have some left in the bowl. So this is where I try to be even Steven. It is what it is. Do what you can do. I just like to take the guessing out of stuff. I don't want to have to worry. So I'm just putting a little bit more in each, and I'm trying to do it really fast so you guys don't get bored. And I probably did a little too much here and a little too much there, but you get the gist of the idea, right? It is what it is. All right. Okay, yes. I'm licking my fingers. All right, take a look. We've got our muffin cups. I'm sorry, I have to do this. Yes, using fingers, whatever. plopping them down, making sure they look nice so they bake nice. Washing my hands. Wow, you get the whole play-by-play. You didn't realize what you were signing on for. All right, so these, okay, I ate a little bit of the batter because yes, it was on my fingers. And it's super sweet. It's just lovely at how the dates really sweeten everything. So this is gonna go into the oven. It is gonna go 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven. I always like to put it in the middle rack. I'm gonna set it for 20, and then I'm gonna go ahead and look at the toothpick, do the toothpick test at the 20-minute mark, and if it needs a little bit more time, I put it in for another few minutes. So we'll just sit here and wait. Just kidding. You should have seen the look on my daughter's face. What? Lucky for you, I already have the finished product, okay? So let's bring it over here. Come on over. These are our zucchini muffins. All right, take a look. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna take them out of the wrapper because I don't need the wrapper. I use the wrapper more just to prevent me from having to clean everything. These turned out so good. Plus, I actually really like the marks that they make. I think they're pretty. And when I was doing some photography, trying to get these pictured for you, I just like the marks that they make. So here are our zucchini muffins. I am gonna take these 3 real quick and put them in the oven as well. All right, now they're all being done. All right, let's take a look. Want me to cut one on open and let's see what we got here. Maya, come over to this side, please. And let's talk about the Moist Maker. Who knows, name that show. The Moist Maker. It's good. It tastes really good with some low-fat jam, or not low-fat, low-sugar jam, little bit of butter. Guilty as charged. It tastes good that way. They're super moist. Let's talk about nutrition facts, okay? Because this was obviously a very quick recipe demonstration because I had everything prepared. But 15 regular muffins, 130 calories. That is the perfect snack. I always like my snacks to be between 100 and 150 calories. That way I know it'll keep me sated until it's time to eat again. So 130 calories, 6.8 grams of fat, 11.2 grams of carbs, and a whopping 8 grams of protein. And that's based on 6 tablespoons of unflavored protein powder. It's a powerhouse. This is really solid nutrition, you guys. And I can't stress it enough. I try not to snack between meals because I'm trying to teach myself the proper habits. But we're only human. And there are times where you're hungry. There are times where you have a grueling workout and you need that extra nutrition. And that's where good, solid, nutritional snacks come into play. It doesn't have filler foods or slider foods, or it's good fat grams, it's good carbs. We're not talking gobs of cream cheese or heavy cream or anything that would make it not a bariatric friendly recipe. I'm talking about well-rounded, good nutrition. And that's what this is. And that's what all of my recipes are designed to do, to help you live large and cook and eat small. And the flavor content, I feel, is pretty stellar as well. So that's what I wanted to say. Bariatric rant over. Let's talk real quick about what we have on the horizon. Next week, I did modify the schedule a little bit. Next week, I'm gonna show you a low-carb Mexican pizza, which is gonna be great, so stay tuned for that. The week after, on Sunday, September 25th, we're gonna do eggplant lasagna, and I do have to get some more scheduled, so if you have any ideas or things that you want me to try, feel free to let me know. But for now, it looks like we're probably gonna end a little bit early, and I'm gonna eat a zucchini muffin. So if you try these recipes, I want to know about it. Please post your comments and questions pictures of the food that you make. Feel free to share your recipes on our Facebook page. You know there are 2 Facebook pages. There is our page, which is what we're on right now, Bariatrics and Tips, but there's also our group page, Bariatric Tips. I did it that way to make it easy for people to search the word bariatric, and that's where we can get up close and personal and share our journeys with each other. Trust your own journey. You know the way. Your heart will lead the way, your mind will follow, and you will find success when you look at body, mind, and soul and you give them all adequate nutrition, okay? So it's been a pleasure hanging with you today. I'm gonna go eat my zucchini muffin. I will talk to you soon. For any questions on any of the gadgets or ingredients that you've seen, certainly let me know. Remember, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. All right, have a great weekend. Bye.